like to use, singlehood. There is an organization that for 5 years now have not only worked to define what that is, but to create this dynamic environment where singles are able to gather. Interestingly enough, there were some singles, I believe, who were there when it started that aren't single today, but that's another conversation. On this whole subject of singleness and whether or not there really is someone for everyone, or are some people just supposed to be single? We're going to get into that conversation today, learn more about this wonderful opportunity for persons here throughout the country, and I begin with welcoming the coordinator of this dynamic event. It's certainly my pleasure to welcome Pastor Farquharson to the Things That Matter. How are you today?
Good afternoon, Kirk. I'm doing great. Good afternoon, Bahamas.
People get excited when they hear about singleness because then they think, well, if I'm single and they're talking about singleness, there may be an opportunity for some people to, singles to get to know each other. And I'm sure that that's, the environment itself provides for that and so much more.
Yes.
What are some of those so much more things?
Yes. Well, the single ministry at BFM exists not only for singles to just come together, but we are more than just a ministry. We are advocate, and we provide support and a network for singles within the church. And so with that, we are more or less like a family, and being single, that can be such an important thing for individuals who, for example, live alone, or they are seeking to be a part of a community that are like-minded, and they're looking for alternative associations, or they're looking just to extend their social circles. The singles ministry can provide that and more, besides providing the spiritual support and foundation that singles really need today.
That indeed, and certainly not only is that relevant to today, I think also about the conference that's being held this weekend. It began yesterday.
Yes, last night.
And I got a fantastic report. I didn't make it yesterday, but I will be there today.
Yes.
And certainly into the weekend.
Yes.
This whole conversation about singleness, and we have a dynamic group of persons, one of whom is Dr. Wanda Turner. And for anyone who doesn't know who she is, by the time the show is over, you will. And that's a good thing, okay?
Yes, it is.
That and so much more. Also a matchmaker. Isn't that amazing? We've got matchmakers here.
Yes.
Perhaps you want to call and share your number. No, don't do that, please. But that is so much more. But so let's quickly move around first to meet everyone, and then we're going to get more into our conversations. And I begin with our matchmaker. I know you're so much more than a matchmaker, and you're very effective at that because you were once single and now you're married. Now, did you apply the lessons? Of course, I'm talking about Mrs. Omeka Moore. Welcome.
Thank you, Kirk. Thanks for having me.
Now, you work between the Bahamas, the United States, and other environments, not only as a counselor, a mentor, a dating coach, and then also a professional matchmaker. You're also having the opportunity to live the very principles that you teach.
Yes, I do. Actually, I use every single one of the principles that I'm going to share with people in my workshop on Saturday. Every single one of them I used.
For those who are meeting Omeka Moore for the first time, who is she?
I am a wife, a daughter, a very down-to-earth person, a godly person, and a person who's willing to share what I know to help you to be your best.
Matchmaker. This is a new addition to the Singles Conference.
It's taking a more proactive approach.
That is. Go pro, go pro. Chris, you're also here. You have been a part of the Singles ministry for a number of years, and you've engaged a number of persons in this process of singlehood and development into the whole person. You are the only male besides myself and our photographer who is in here, and he's being quiet, here to give a voice to men in the country. Is the conversation about singleness and wholeness as important for men as it is for women?
Yes, actually, good afternoon, Bahamas, and good afternoon, Kirk. Yes, that certainly is for men as well as it is for women. In fact, there are stages that humans go through in life. There is childhood, there is teenagers, there is singlehood, there is marriagehood if you are desiring to be married. And the singlehood is a place in person's life that you want to know how to perform in that place. You want to know what that's all about because it's the prerequisite for the next stage, which is marriage. And your marriage life is only as good as your single life.
That is powerful. Also, Lauren Thurston, who is a part of the team, and I would dare to say also benefiting from this very special event.
Definitely. I'm having a blast at the conference, learning lots of information. We learned about the importance of values and ethics. We learned about strategies to enhance your life as a single individual so you can live a more effective and impactful life. So I'm enjoying it thoroughly.
Excellent. With 2 more days to go, it only gets better.
Yes.
Talk about getting better and something so dynamic. I left the final person in our conversation because really and truly, I want to make sure she has enough time. Because when she speaks, it's not long-winded, it's just very profound. And Dr. Wanda Turner, I first had the opportunity to meet you last year. And in that conversation, I got to know a dynamic woman who is both humble and confident, who is informed and passionate. And I'm not surprised that the conference organizers invited you back.
Delighted they did.
This whole conversation about singleness, about people development, why do we need to have this conversation?
Because many people, even sitting at this round table on air, benefit because we're single. And there are even married couples, we laughed about it yesterday, but we laughed so that we don't cry, that are living together undivorced.
Now that's profound.
Married, living together undivorced. And many times it's because in their lives prior to marriage, they had no one that took proper interest in training, teaching, challenging, confronting you as a single man, as a single woman, to prepare you for being a single person married.
Well, you have to prepare for that.